you see Blub? Well, apparently we're up then. Okay. That sounds alright. Alright. See face and game pause. Hey. Well, you got here first, Jaxia, followed by Raz and Gamer. So welcome to the stream, all of you. I think we're just a bit too quiet. There we go. But yes, welcome to the beginning of adventure mode. For a new adventure run. Because I'm fairly sure that Rail Adventure is dead. It didn't really get anywhere. So, you know. And since I'm being so generous, you're getting 2 From the Depths things today. So, I don't know what came over me, quite honestly. So this is the other one. This is a new adventure run, From the Depths. I've already forgotten the name of this thing now. Damn it. From the Depths, Beneath the Waves. That's the one. Also, YouTube thinks this is Surviving Mars. It is not. From the Depths. There we go. Welcome, Red the Rage. Is that Mystiques from Subnautica? No, it's not. It is an OC remix track based on an old Tyrion song. So okay, let's get started though, because, you know, we've got a boat to make. Well, not a boat, a submarine. We need to paint it bright yellow. Razul, I already said I fixed that. So, yeah. Why have miniseries 5 episodes anyways? A miniseries is 5 episodes, just because then it's like, I get a little game, I put it in during a week, and then it gives people a whole bunch of, don't do that, please. Why are we sideways? Already this game is messing with me, I think. And now we're upside down. I don't know why. I can't believe I've capsized in the first minute. Right after I unpause. Right. Anyway, yeah. Mini-series are 5 series long because it's like just... Quite honestly, there's too many games that I feel like recording, and I can't do full series of everything because it's just like way too much. So it's trying to get more games in, more reliable content, and just have more stuff for everyone in general, really. Ashes of the Empire is messed up. Oh, okay, what's happened to it? Because it's got to be bad. But I've not tried Ashes of the Empire in quite a while. Also, why is this thing loading and land placement severely messed up? Okay, good to know. Thank you. Also unfortunate to know as well, but oh well, there's nothing to be done about it, really, is there? Gave him a sips on the first on the first Prestige. All right, thank you. Yeah, spotted that. You said about just use the wheels, but the thing is, I like the cog appearance. Unfortunately, so that's why I like to do that. I just love the. I could curse a lot. What? Why would I curse? I don't tend to curse very much. I'm getting confused now. What am I doing? Rui of LOL, welcome to the stream, by the way. I didn't get a chance to say hello to you because I got distracted, which is still ridiculously easy to do, by the way. Retry land, messed up. Tips from Gamer ASD on my Prestige video, which I know is not the best. Ashes severe issues. Setting on normal. Talon first with Lasercraft. Oh, there's nothing to do about it about ashes. Oh, I see. Also, welcome to the stream, Slaughter. Let's just start burning some fuel. Because quite simply we need to get started. And I'm very slow. Gone are the days when I just restarted adventure mode over and over and over so much I absolutely knew what I was doing in my sleep. Because, no, it's been quite a while since I've started a new adventure. Okay, that'll do as a start. All I'm doing really right now is I'm trying to get this thing begun so we can get some initial resources harvesting. 1, 2, 3. I don't need that one. There's too many. This will overtap this thing pretty quickly. And just give me an initial stock of resources to try and work with. Because of course, submarine equals negative altitude helicopter. That's one way to do it. Though another way you guys used it, actually you were talking about this a while ago, is apparently you can set an aerial AI to negative or something like that. The thing is, I've never done that, so I don't know how to do it properly. Let's poke at the thing while we're just gathering some material. Right, aerial AI card. So the cruising altitude can go negative. So what does that require then? Just some form of thrust, I take it, to pitch it down and up. At least I'm guessing that's what it needs. There's also the fact, of course, that resource extraction won't work underwater either. So that might be a slight issue. Complex controller. Let's get a complex controller in here so I can at least start to move. AI control thrust, either ion or, less ideally, props. Actually, the props would be more efficient than the ion, because ion just isn't very good. Ion has got very horrible power output to energy. So I think that might not be the best idea to go with just flat out ion jets. A 3D set, roll, pitch and yaw for complex controllers, then ACB for AI to go at complex controllers should work. Yep. Well, actually a full 3D set, you mean set up the... Yeah, ion is more for space where nothing else works. Though they do work everywhere else as well, it's just they're not very good at it. They do have a pleasing blue glow though. You've got to say that for them. And I wish this thing would stop rocking and rolling. It makes me worried it's going to fall over again. That's not really helped, has it? Okay. Right. I guess I should start trying to think about my underwater future, because we're building up a few thousand resources right now. So we're kind of starting to get due for some kind of attack, I guess, aren't we? At least that's what I'm thinking. That'll take a while to fill that one. Okay. Iron is better for aerial eye because control those better. Aerial eye is not so ideal with props. The ACB to AI should fix that though. But you want the AI controlling the pitch and yaw though, don't you? Problem is, I never do anything with aerial AI, so I don't know how to control this thing. Except we should have it, like, most extreme roll set to 0 so it won't try to roll over, which would be an absolute disaster. Angle deviation before we try to roll, maximum roll 0. Before turn start 10 degrees, cruising altitude minus... $50? I think that was my fuel tank running out. So 50 meters down. Yeah, that was my fuel running out. Yeah, space is not very well implemented at all. It's basically just like inertialess, isn't it? You just, well, not inertialess, you just go wherever you go because there's no resistance. That's the word, resistance. Just sitting here, harvest my resources. Forward, back to what's come. I don't know what any of this means. No, space is just slapped on, effectively. There's no two ways around it. Jets using air and water mode. Wheels tied to air, wheels tied to water. Stable air pumps. So, how do I control the pitch? I mean, I could work this out if I did any other control system. Honestly, it's just I don't know how to do this with an aerial AI. There's like a fighter, rolling and turning, etc., but underwater. Sounds too complex. Alright, heck with that. I'm just going to go do something else then. Let's see, how long are we now? Actually, we don't need this anymore. Pretty sure. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that gives us a 40-meter length. Once we go underwater mode, though, we're probably going to have to fight to get resources. You see, that'll surface. We need a way to surface then. If we want to make use of our resource extractors again, we'd have to surface. Okay, right, so I just started doing this just as I saw your suggestion there, Raz, that I use PID, because quite frankly PID is how I know to do it, or how I think I can do it reasonably quickly. So I don't know, just set this to bus to reverse mode on the ones back here. So we need to be ready to move. It's getting towards that point really, isn't it? It's also the fact we have a really inefficient engine at the moment, so we're just burning fuel. What was it, that thing? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Just have 2 ACBs on the attitude PID. So I want jump up PID set desirable to minus 50 on controller inputs G, and you on controller inputs T will set the thing to 0. So that'll bring us back up to the surface. Yeah, don't worry, I've not forgotten about the range limiter either. We want a range of 2 for these ones, because that will do all of that. Then we also want a roll control and a pitch control as well. So We're basically setting this up like an underwater thruster craft at this point. Which is already thinking about trying to control itself. Let's see, do we need that leg? Not really. We can use this to set things out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15. I guess 15 is a decent width right now. But we're just going for like the absolute basics here. Just getting some roll stabilization set in. We just need to set this thing to respond to 0 fairly aggressively, like that. But this thing should be ready to submerge now. It's just not very good at it, quite honestly. It's just not very good at it at all. Rest 3 things. We just had our first spawn, I think. Yeah, we got our first enemy over there. So it's time to start shredding the stuff. This does not look very submarine-like at all, but we've got the thing coming in anyway, so we do need to be starting to think about this. At least giving this some kind of hull. Well, that's really what we got the roll stabilization PID set for, so we can take out these stabilizers on the sides. There we go. That FPS. I'm running at 80 FPS with Bob, so don't know what you're talking about. So yeah, FPS is absolutely fine. Of course, another problem is we can't actually move, which is another slight issue. There's also the fact we don't have our power source is still horrendous at this point. So what is it that's coming? That's what I want to know. What's coming? It is over this way somewhere. Ah, here we go. What are you? You are a Atlas, of all things. I float too well already. Probably, but we've got an Atlas coming in, so you know. Missile connectors. Let's make this pretty simple. Don't worry, this is not a permanent system. This is just a temporary thing. And we want a IFF, staggered fire, and controller. Preferably one that will connect to it all. Come on, you guys. Oh, it's because I forgot the darn thing. Never mind. You didn't see me forget the launch pad. No, I know what I'm doing. I always know what I'm doing. Yes, launch pad. No wonder it wasn't working. Okay, let's see. Single lobe infrared infrared seekers with a single fin, a variable thruster, set that to 800 power with a 5-sec ramp, and fuel tank, target prediction, and then we just load up with an EMP and a couple of frag heads like that. So there we go. And we've got something to defend ourselves, and I've just accidentally walked off the boat. Because I'm a dumbass like that. But on the bright side, that gives us something to protect ourselves from the Atlas with. Though I also noticed that we are actually now out of position for our resource harvesting, quote unquote. Whatever it is that we're doing to try and get resources, we are out of position for it. So I'm going to set this up. Yep, it's starting to shell us now. Yeah, that looked pretty solid. As for ammo, who needs ammo? Ammo is for the weak. I don't need to reload my guns ever. Though unfortunately there's no decent place to put it right now either, because the boat is still just too incomplete. Way too incomplete. Also we're starting to take hits, which also doesn't help very much. Guess that'll do. I want you to run in reverse when I hit that one, I think. Did I set this up? Yes, I did. Okay, good. I just haven't set up the last one yet. Oh, hello. Also, I thought I put this thing on a flipping 2-axis, not a... there goes the ammo magazine. That's why I did not want to just randomly strap ammo to this darn thing. I can see we're off to a great start though. Absolutely great start. Any kind of defense though is better than this. Because we have 0 defense at all. The only bright side is that we've got missiles that are powerful enough to actually do something. But I don't want to have like an early death going on. Like, oh, we're out of fuel again. Okay, right. How are we doing for resources? Holding up. And we've got the lasers! Okay, where's the dive button? Apparently dive is not working. Which is great. You. Well, that went... This is why I don't like getting started, you know? I wish they'd fix this starting zone. I really do. Okay, let's try this again. Because that was quite silly, that, actually. Yeah, really. I just died. Right. Finish already? What do you mean by that, Jaxia? Finish already? What are you trying to tell me to do? Because I am dead already, yeah. But that's because it's adventure mode. It just really, really sucks when you're trying to get started. Yep, I'm dead. I am very, very dead. Let's get my resource storage. That'll do for now. Oh, no it won't. Try building a weapon and resources first, moving after. Well, I had a weapon. I was doing something to it. It was just, oh, for goodness sake. Once again, I've already pitched over. I really wish I knew why it was doing this. Because this really, really sucks. It didn't used to do it quite this bad, quite this easily. I could make the changes I'm making without it deciding to go belly up, mostly. But it seems like there's something different. Not sure what. It feels like there's been a change, really, in how buoyancy works. At least that's what it feels like trying to put this thing together. Don't know if that's true or not, though. So don't take my word for it. Let's go back on here. Oops. There we go, back on here. No, as in the changes I made before, Raz, it would float okay because it was really, really flat. Then when I did that just now, it just went heck with this and just went flying off and did nothing. So, you know, it's kind of weird. Anyway, let's actually get this thing started up, I suppose. How did this go? You know what? I just need power to start out, don't I? So, you know, just inject to the darn thing. Let's just get an injector engine out. In fact, I think I already have a prefab. No. I'm not here to go poking around in all my prefabs trying to figure out what's what. Not at this stage. No. So we're just going to injector it straight up, throw fuel in its face, set it on fire, and then call it an engine. That sounds good enough to me. Fuel storage. Like that. And then just begin harvesting. Do I recall your engine? That's what I was just trying to think about. Not especially. I don't especially recall your engine setup. So wait, why am I here again? Oh yeah, that one. Just get this darn thing stabilized. Also, we are apparently mobile. Not very mobile, but I'll take what I can get at this point. Does this count as being mobile, actually? Just drifting helplessly under a balloon? Maybe? We're meant to be a submarine, but we're kind of floating in the air right now. Oh well. If it gets us stable again, it gets us stable again. And we're not stable again. That should do it. It's one way to stabilise yourself. Just make a complete and utter fool of yourself and call it a day. Yeah, I think that's probably my lesson for this entire stream. Just make a fool of yourself, feel awful about it, and you'll be fine. Maybe a flying submarine. No, then it would just become a thruster craft, so it'd be just like what's happened before. Which is what I'm trying to avoid, really. What I am wanting to do, though, is, if I recall, a fully charged battery is worth like 20 power outputs on an electric engine. Let's double check this really quickly. No, oh, it's 100% 80 power. $360. That's changed since last time I measured it. 360, and what I want is for it to... 5 blocks. I think 5 blocks should do it, so... what I'm thinking here is I'm going to add like that. That should be enough, and then I can strap an electric engine underneath it, right? Then this thing will also need a little bit of storage on it. So something like that. And then we just need material gatherers, which we can strap around the side of it. Like that. And then we just sit back and hit the button. It deploys it. So off it goes. And of course it upsets our entire boat while it's at it, but yep, off it goes. Then we switch this out. Resource mode. Group 1. Group 1. You drone wants to be fully charged on power, but you want to have no resources. So that thing will take battery power from our main crafts, and I will be supplying it with electric energy. So we've just created a little resource drone. And that will continue to supply us with resources. So long as we keep this battery charged up, it will supply resources. We just need to increase our battery charge ratio. Yeah, that's one way to do it, I suppose. This guy's just quite happily sitting above us, harvesting resources for us. So, yep. One way to do it, I guess. This also means we can submerge the main craft, and I don't know if the enemy will try to shoot this thing or not. That's also one of the questions, really, isn't it? On the right side, we have got that thing now sitting there, just supplying us with resources at a steady tick. We could do with supplying it with more energy, though, to be fair. Because we are kind of short on power. Anyway, it doesn't matter now if we sink, as long as we stay within reach of that thing to supply it with resources. If we increase our material storage, that will increase our material supply range. So, I don't know how many people are really aware of this, but if you want a supply ship to supply better, supply further, you just need to give it more storage, basically. So I just need to give it extra resource storage and it can supply things at a greater range. Latland made a flying sub. I'm not surprised. That's the kind of thing he would do. There we go. Got an RTG source starting up. We've got... we might be okay. Depends on how well this can keep our power supply up. Not quite enough though. But I guess it's time to dive, isn't it, really? Hi Jack Denny, welcome to the stream. We're just sitting here in our wooden, totally secure submarine, which I'm about to sink like a massive lead block as I turn its floor into lead. So, yeah. Also, as I remove all flotation devices too. Because frankly, it doesn't matter anymore if we keep this thing on the surface or not. So, you know, we've got a submarine. Sort of. We are slowly losing altitudes. You're now at minus 17 meters and counting, and it doesn't matter at all. Because we've got the resource drone just floating around above us, harvesting everything. Let's double check it. Yep, it's very happily supplying us with all the resources we want. Every last scrap it gets its hands on. While I just get to sit down here on my wooden block. Safe as houses. Well, not safe as houses, it's actually really dangerous down here, but, you know, at least I'm going somewhere with this, I think. Do I still think it works? Do I think what works? I'm just trying to keep this thing charged up, really. It's still dependent on its fuel engine. Okay, the question is, how deep should I go? I guess we should start to think about PIDs and things, but we kind of want to get this thing mobile, don't we? That would be a good idea, getting this thing mobile. So if this is the lower deck, then I guess we could get it down to like here, couldn't we? Can I play music? There is music playing, actually. there is music playing. So, yeah, don't know why you're asking that one. Because I'm pretty sure there's music playing. I'm listening to it right now. I think another problem is that we get this weird graphical glitch going on sometimes when we're down here. So it's, I don't know, that's kind of weird to me. Don't know if you guys think it matters though at all, but hey, it's the thing. At least I think it's the thing. Maybe I'm just getting mad from down here. Music that isn't part of the soundtrack. That is again what is playing. It's honestly, this game's soundtrack is very erratic, so that's why I turn it off and have something else playing instead. So yeah, this is not part of the From the Depths soundtrack. I can't even tell if we're level anymore, to be quite honest. How are you doing? Are you still getting Harvard resources? You are, and you are very steadily supplying stuff to us. It's just that you're going so slowly, so... And yep, we are very much not pitched properly. Play My Demons from Starset. I don't go for anything that's like made by someone or copyrighted at all or anything like that. So, you know, let's get this thing steady. So that's something to watch out for, really. It's like, well, I don't know why I care actually. I mean, I'm not monetized anymore. I seem very moany. What, me? How do you mean? You are the pitch one, you are the roll one, that makes you the altitude. What a prop. Water prop back here as well. Set to reverse mode. That should get us evened out. Of course, another problem is down here that we can't actually see much of anything. Like, we can't tell what's going on. Like, if I didn't see the readout, I wouldn't know that I'm over 260 meters deep at this point. Because, what does that mean exactly? 260 meters down, you know? Let's get that. Let's find the PIDs and crank up their output at least a little bit. So, 1. They've got to be aggressive, trying to correct themselves. Still trying, bless it. Just need to... Reverse. If we can get these guys set, then that should about let this thing be stable. The problem is, of course, I'm actually draining a fair bit of power doing that. Also, it seems to be just a bit confused as well. Yeah, it doesn't seem to know which way is up or down, quite honestly, at this point. It's kind of strange, that. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe it's because I'm, again, trying to settle this up by feel. So it's like... That's a forward thrust thing. And then I've got these two ones back here set to thrust reverse. Trying to correct it all. Then I'll have a couple on here which are set to side thrust. Feels like I'm kind of spinning though in place. Oh no, I'm actually steady. Oh, that did it. I actually have a submarine. Woo. Well, I have something. I think it's a submarine. It's not mobile by itself, but it's still a submarine, so, you know. At least it's not rolling anymore. There is that. It's just very steadily cruising at 260 meters... No, 330 meters down, so it's a bit too deep. Right, what happens if I tell it I want it to be at 100 meters depth? That's you. Set altitude to -100. How well do you respond to that? You start sinking. Well, it does a thing, I suppose. It just doesn't have enough thrust to try and correct. Okay, now it's trying to correct. So it turns out I did need these ones after all. Just need the thrust reverses, like that. And now it is sinking again. What? Why are you sinking again? Oh, it's because you pitched. Oh, I see. Okay, now it's actually climbing. Excellent. We're actually climbing. We have a submarine, which is not randomly sinking, which is a thing. It's just I'm not even sure what it is at this point. It's just trying to stabilize itself and just rising up. Okay, so we've got our underwater thruster craft sorted out. It's just not able to move yet, which is a slight issue with it. How are resources doing? Where are the enemies? There's no enemies, yeah. You posted something for me in the Discord though, I did spot that. I was just in the middle of rolling over. Forward depth design, I'm guessing it's in that one. Oh yeah, that one. That was how it went. Right. Okay. Let's get something like that installed then. That's why I'll do that. I am now at -200 meters. Yeah, my plans are really sinking, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 meters across. 1, 3, 5, 7. I can just about fit that, actually. So I can just about fit the size of power plants that you posted there. Only just though. Well, yeah, I noticed, but the fact is I really am sinking, so, you know. But I think this is also demonstrating my long complaint about why I didn't think it would be a particularly good idea to have it, and why we don't see many, like, submarine adventure plays. Because quite frankly, you're just seeing this thing in this blue and sometimes terrain at the bottom thing, and there's not much going on, really, is there? Not really. Actually, no, let's play it out further. There we go. Unleash the Kraken. Yeah, pretty much. Just trying to work out how to angle these sides. Yeah, I guess that'll do. We are actually at 100 meters depth. Okay, can we actually be seen from the surface? Kind of. Okay, cool. And our little resource drone is working. Okay. That's also good. Okay, let's actually get that engine installed though. Okay, so we need a more powerful engine. Let's do this here. Well, also a more efficient one as well, which is also kind of key. Let's be fair. How much horsepower are we using? Right now we're using like just on the shorts of 200. Though we are also not fully supplying this thing's battery requirement, so we need to up that a little bit. And that's with a couple of RTGs involved as well. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's make it a 10. Which would make it this a 1,100 horsepower power plant using that configuration. So that should be pretty good. I think we can afford to install such a thing as well. Right, we just need carburetors. Then we need the inline exhausts. No, it's not the inline ones, no. What's my on about? No, this is the... Is it the inline exhausts? I've forgotten at this point. No, it's it's the breaking the turbochargers. And I believe we've just had a spawn because there's a minor bit of lag. Yep, we've got an enemy out there somewhere who seeks our flesh. No doubt. Oh well. He's going to try and kill us no matter what anyway, right? Yeah, I already figured that, Raz, no worries. I already noticed that it's like, it is not the inline. Okay, now, we just need to get this thing exhausted up. Still kind of surprised at how good this thing is that you came up with, but then again, you come up with decent stuff all the time, so, you know. The only problem is we are going to find out now if the things want to shoot at our brain-dead little harvesting drone or not. So we're going to find that out pretty darn soon. Okay, that's all exhausts in there. Let's straight pipe it across here. Then lastly, we want to grab all exhausts. Throw them out this way. A left-hand junction pipe should do it. Yep, like that. And then we connect it to the carburetor system. There we go. All right. As soon as we've got the other side up, then Razul's monster engine design will be completed. All we have to do is make sure it's got a clear way out of the hull, so that it's not got any cooling penalty going on. Like that. Hull pipe. So there we go, we've got a single exhaust vent on the underside of the submarine, which is feeding into this thing, which should be a 1100 max power. Actually, it outputs 2000. I've miscalculated somewhere. Oh no, I've got more power than I expected. What a shame. I'm sure I'll find some way to cope with that. The crippling disappointment. But, oh well. Let's just stash a fuel tank in the underside of it here. And then we can actually get rid of the gas guzzler that I installed at the front. It served its purpose. So there we go. And yep, that is keeping our battery fully stocked. Excellent. See if you can find the Handsome Jack voice mod for XCOM 2. Call me the Blue Knight from now on. You already called the Blue Knight. Or is it Blue Dragon? One or the other. But you called something blue already. It's over that way. I think it's... Actually, I'm not sure what that is. What is it? Let's see. It is a... Stalwarts. Okay. I guess it's time to see if we can get some weaponry into this thing, isn't it? Question is where though? Let's see, resource, material storage. Let's get some 2-meter beam sections in here. Along the sides of the engine, because, you know, it's a submarine, we've got to be compact, right? But that also lets me tear out these forward cargo sections, which again have kind of served their purpose a little bit. Though we do need the space to increase our maximum resource broadcast and acquisition range. Onyx Watch, laser AMS systems and crams. Alright. May you request AI with wireless snooper and an active/passive sonar controlled torpedoes. You can. You can indeed. I'm just restructuring the craft if you'll just give me a second. We don't need the RTGs at the moment, so tear those out. And give me a control chair. I guess I've gone this far without a control chair. Actually, I've just realised, or any kind of control mobility at all. How strange. There we go. We've got a battery beam. That gives us some decent resource storage, so decent resource broadcast range. And just add a little bit more just for good luck. Make it small storage. So there we go. Not too shabby, actually. I don't think. The only problem with it is it's completely exposed and it doesn't have any weaponry as of yet, which it does kind of need. Also, that thing there is running a bit dry right now. There's only about 1,000 resources left in it, so it is time we were going hunting, actually. Hi, Dan. Welcome to the stream. See, you wanted a AI with wireless super and active or passive sonar, controlled torpedoes. Let's get some mobility at least set up in this thing first, I suppose. So let's make this really simple. A couple of huge props. There we go. Those two will allow this thing to move around. There we go. Fully mobile. Right, let's actually get something sorted out. For torpedoes, you suggest 8 to 12 blocks with a mix of VMP and high explosive. The lower the target's armor, the more HE and vice versa. Yeah, but that involves configuring torpedoes for each individual opponent. That's not exactly a reasonable thing to request, that one. Not really. One of the reasons I just cleaned out this forward section here is that we can actually use this as ammunition storage bays, so we can get ammo stored at the front here. And it probably won't kill us, which is also kind of important, you know? 3, so there. You know, it's vaguely important for us not to get blown up by our own stuff. I can't believe I just said that. I'm caring about my own stuff blowing up. What a weird day this is. Oh. Me caring about my own stuff getting blown up. Since when have I cared about that, though? That's what's confusing me. I've never really cared about that, have I? Like, never really cared about if my craft gets blown up because of how it's built or something. No, that's overlapping slightly. Put it like that. Have you infected me with the tanky, monstrous Importante disease? Not really. I still build pretty dangerously, and I still build things with heavier weaponry than you do as well. So you know, point for me there. But I have been taking a few notes from your sheer survivability, shall we say? That gives us 3,400. That's enough to start with, at least, I suppose. So the question is, what am I going to do in terms of getting a torpedo system installed and at least ready to go on this thing? And also, alas, the resource deposit is actually completely gone now. So my resource drone is just sitting there with nothing to do. Also, for some reason, it's holding like a whole bunch of resources. I think I should set my vehicle to demand, the adventure craft to demand all resources. There we go. Dock the drone. There's nothing to dock it to. Also, the moment I try to move around too quickly, it would like, it would undock anyway. So, you know, I'll figure out what to do with the drone in a little bit. Still need to figure out where to put the initial weapon system on this thing. weapons system. I mean, we could mount it like... Oh, have I played Undertale? No, I have not. I have watched playthroughs, though, because I've realised I wouldn't get around to playing it or anything at all like that. So, you know. I knew I would never get to it or afford it because, you know, financial instability and all that jazz. Or should I say financial responsibility? Because I'm actually paying attention to how much money I've got. I don't know. Raz, it's only exploding dangerous if the Heartstone overloads. Otherwise, it's just something. I don't know what. Also, we've got to live up down to my explosive reputation as well, haven't we? Right, so what I'm thinking is we could get a torpedo rack installed on the front here. Like a short-range torpedo rack. So that would be a one-axis turret, which I accidentally selected earlier. Do I have enough Heartstone extends for the submarine size? I'll check it, just a second. Yep, the Heartstone can take something up to 4 times the size of this, so... Yeah, there's no need to worry about Heartstone size just yet. We can be 4 times larger than this before the Heartstone starts to overload. I need to add resource tracking. Oh, yeah, I've forgotten to add that, haven't I? Whoops. I knew I'd forgotten something. I always do. Always, always do. There or... I guess this will make for longer torpedoes, though, won't it? So... Yeah, that'll make for longer torpedoes. Second try. Well, the first try is because I actually got lasered. So lasers are always an especially nasty one to come across. But yeah, welcome to the stream, Cesar the Magnificent. How much KFC wings can you eat in one time? I have no idea. I've never eaten KFC wings at all. So, your guess is as good as mine, basically. But there we go. We've got some nice big 6-block torpedoes going in here. We need an IFF, of course. And I guess we need a staggered fire? 0.3 per. Okay. Alright, let's see if we can work us out a decent torpedo. So, let's go for a double fin. Followed by torpedo props. 4 of those. A double fuel tank. And then the rest of it is... Wait, no. That's not enough. No, this is not quite what I'm after. And let's modify the loadout slightly already. You know, because I know what I'm doing. We can recess the side torpedoes back a little. And we can extend the central torpedoes forward a little. So we've now made them into a 7-block torpedo system. Have to make sure to connect it all like that. So again, we just need the IFF and the stagger fire and the controller. So that's made them a bit larger. Triple pop, triple propeller, 1-turn ballast. Yeah. Actually, 1 turn, I'm thinking not really. It depends on how accurate the sonar can be. Where's the sonar? The sonar works in a 120-degree arc. That is really impressive, especially compared to the other ones. Jeez. Use a nuke. I don't have an appropriate delivery system for a nuke. Let's see. Pop, pop, pop. I guess a target prediction? Maybe? But what we really want is a ballast tank though, because it's a freaking torpedo. Sonar and I are 120 degrees. Radar is 360. Well, it depends on the thing, because the IR cone missiles are actually not. The IR missiles are not 360 degree. They are 30 degree cone on those things. So, how can anyone be alive without KFC? KFC is love, KFC is life. KFC is overpriced where I am. So, that's how I can live without it. Certainly a target prediction. Yeah, I was just thinking that. Target prediction. That leaves us a 6 warhead payload. So I'm thinking a double EMP followed by 4 explosives. That should kind of hit pretty hard. Actually, you know what I've forgotten? Might be good if this thing has some fuel tanks on it. Just a little bit. So let's make this a single EMP treble explosive with fuel tanks, taking up 2 slots instead of that. Shame that. That would have actually been a rather nasty one if it could have moved. Maybe a dumbfire missile would have been good, but yeah, it's not really gonna do much. So yeah, there we go. We've now got the torpedo system. Oh, someone's trying to target me, I think. Not doing a very good job at it. Oh yeah, someone's actually shelling it. The cheeky bugger! They're trying to shell my resource drone. Huh. You know what that means, don't you? Set my... well, first off I need a fire control computer. That would be kind of useful. But we need to test our things anyway, so... we need a fire control, which is there. I can't believe they're shooting at my blooming resource drone. I'll just attach it right next to me. Alright, so there it is. Let us lock onto that. Yeah. Actually no, they're not. The shots... Wait, are they? Yeah, they are trying to hit it. They're not doing a very good job of it, but they are trying to hit it. Okay, there we've got torpedoes outbound. Let's see what this does to it. Fuel's okay. Thrust, they're going at 60 meters per second. That's okay. Not sure how much damage that did. Not much at all, actually. Yeah, it means warg. It means warg. Yeah, I don't really think it did too much. Not really. This thing, then again, this is an Onyx Watch ship, so it's like it's got lots and lots of firepower on it. Sorry, firepower. It's got a very thick hull, rather. Also, there seems to be a bit of a fight going on over there as well. It seems to be having a bit of a fight. Because of that, I missed the second volley of torpedoes hitting. Have they actually done anything to this thing? No, they have not. Yeah, this is not really seeming to do very much. And the bright side, we've got a decent... well, we're not a decent, we've got a torpedo to start out, but it's not a very good torpedo. I don't think. It just doesn't seem to be doing very much. Oh, they actually knocked a block off. Yay! Oh, and shredded an engine, apparently. Hmm. Wait, has there actually been internal damage? There is not. Yeah, don't worry. I was just test firing it. Let's see if this... I think we need to increase the firing interval between the torpedoes, as it is, but I'm not very impressed with their performance at this point. Yeah, they're not doing much. Or at least it doesn't look like they're doing much. Whoa, 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 whoa. What the heck just happened? Someone decided to shoot at us with something. Don't know what. They blew up our engine though. The heck was that? Whatever it is, I don't like it. Please stop it. And a... Did I talk myself? No. I had IFF. Well, you missed me dying to something. I don't know what. Another death. Yeah. The problem is that that's an hour 15. So. I don't know. Not beating another start, so maybe go into Vehicle Designer and just poke around at a submarine for a while. Try and make a small starting submarine that I can refit my craft into as soon as I get like a few thousand resources or something. How does that sound for another 15-20 minutes? Or should I just end the stream right now or something? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I'm good for another start though, that's the thing. And this is also an incredibly familiar pattern. I try to start an adventure, I go boom. A lot. Like, a lot. So, yeah. I think we're trying to craft some kind of small submarine is probably a good idea. Well, the thing is, we were testing our torpedoes, we were absolutely happy and fine, and then everything was exploding. So, I think part of that is the fact we didn't actually have any dorsal armor, and I think we got shelled by cram cannons. I'm having to guess that. So, I don't know. The other from the depths thing though is actually an FtD Toba. So, you know. Anyway, let's actually get something to start out with. It's got to be something small, got to be something cheap, because we need something that will work, and we can afford to put it in at the start of a thing. You think the Deepwater Godfly got depth charges or deep mines? That might have been it. I didn't see anything coming down, but I was too busy exploding, so, you know. Stuff like that. I guess we can... Let's go for a 20-meter design? Or something like that. Oh boy, here we go again. Yeah. I die a lot, so... That's to be understandable, I suppose. Oh no, here we go again. So I just want something that's, you know, not gonna... Something we can build really quick, which is why I'm working out of wood. Like, it's gonna be cheap to get this thing actually deployed. Then what I'm thinking is, then I'll go ahead and stagger it back to a 2. Like this. And then it'll stagger back to a 4. like this, and that's as wide as it's going to get. So yeah, something like this, I think. We are due for another XCOM 2, and it'd be nice to actually finish something for once, you know? So, yeah, I guess I can try to make it the next one, XCOM 2. So, yeah, no worries. Water prop. Huge props, because we had a... Actually, no, we should be okay with just regular props at this point. Like that. Finishing stuff is overrated. Yeah, but I never finish a series, do I? Well, I do, but some... I mean, you guys were saying go back and do some more XCOM 2 because you're almost there. You've almost cracked it. So you guys were dangling that one over me for a while, weren't you? You don't get to back out now. But yeah, the XCOM 2 ones were always fun, especially the one where I set an entire sewer on fire. That was a nice one. Especially since I set you lot on fire in it at the same time. That was good too. So, yes. So what I'm thinking is like making the submarine like this. All steering and stuff will be handled by the rear section. You still want to see me fail at the end of XCOM 2 a couple of times. Gee, thanks, Buzz. Set it like this, and then this one will also be for just forward propulsion, so that bank of propellers will handle steering as well as propulsion, so got to watch out from getting attacked in the back with this thing. But on the bright side, that should be okay. And we just need something we can start out with, some kind of starting points, which can actually cruise around and maybe sneak away. And we can replace the outer hull with metal later as we get more resources, but we just need something to start out with, you know? So that's why I'm thinking of just using wood. Something like that. So it's kind of like a bit of a teardrop shape. Almost. But of course it's like 20 meters long, so... You know. It's not going to be perfect, this. Of course we need to have... well, we need to have a Heartstone in here. We need to have resource storage integrated as well. A trilobite. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Yeah, trilobite. What can I say? I'm not very good at starting adventure runs. I'm honestly shocked that no one realised this sooner. Because it's been going on for quite a while, hasn't it? But yeah, I'm not that good at surviving the start of an adventure. Quite honestly. There we go. That should be good. It should work okay. The question is, how fast can it go? What kind of power plant should we put into it? It's got to be a cheap... Got to remember though, it's got to be super, super cheap. Right now we're at 363 resources for the hull so far. So this thing has got to be cheap and nasty as heck. mean, I'm already going to use like hydrofoil to get it down into place. So we're going to use PID hydrofoil on this, at least to get it moving. So that part I'm going to put in straight away. Actually, no, wait, not PID hydrofoil. What am I on about? ACB hydrofoil combined with PID pitch stability. There we go. So if altitude... Yeah, activate when altitude is greater than, as soon as I find the option for this. I always lose things in this list. It's right at the top. Right. Altitude is greater than minus 50. We got blown up at minus 100 though. I should probably point that out. So let's do that. And you are hydrofoil pitch control. Let's do that. Actually, I've got cosmetic mods, Raz. Why not use altitude in pitch control? Because I understand the PID better, quite honestly. Also, if you use hydrofoils both, if you use hydrofoil control for both pitch and altitude, it goes wonky because they try to cross-control each other, and then your craft just goes here, there, and everywhere. So, you know, it's not the best, quite honestly. But this configuration I know works, so that's why I'm putting it in. Just cheap, cheerful, it works. It'll do what I'm trying to do with it. And that's all I care about at this point. So there you go, that should get it at least moving. We need a control chair, which needs to sit somewhere. Up front with the control systems, sure. And then we need a fire control, which we'll put there, and a complex control, which we'll put there. Teleport to it. No, don't take that. Teleport to that. Right, there we go. I didn't set the hydrofoil thing properly, did I? No, I did not. Effect range, reduce that. You will set hydrofoil angle to, like, altitude is greater than minus 50, set to minus 45. That should be affecting those ones. It's not though. Maybe because it's not powered, I don't know. That should have worked though. I mean, I used that on my other submarine. It should have worked. I am mildly confused. Then again, that's kind of normal, isn't it? We also don't have space for Razul's super efficient engine in here either. I just realised. It's too compact, so Razul's thing is just too large. Use only with one side of your engine. Yeah, that's probably space for that. Oh, good. They are actually in aggressive attack mode now. That's good. That means that they're just not deep enough to attack properly. Let's go ahead and move them downwards then, like that. So they're in the water a bit better. Could also use some kind of forward prop as well. Always good to have a forward prop, quite honestly. But in this case, we need one just to help force the boat down. Because it's really buoyant, this thing, as well. It's made of wood. Made of wood. Maybe some metal on the floor. Yeah. No, this thing will also get heavier as we go. Maybe the attack angle could do with being reduced, though, to like -20 or something. Yeah, the problem is it's just like getting out of the water. We'll pay attention to that later. Anyway, engine first. Engine first. Right, if we're going to replace this thing in the base of the craft, we need to have it like this. Let's have some things like that. So we've got the engine there in the floor. We've got a bit of crankshafts. We'll have cylinders like that. Carburetors like that. That'll fit. Yeah, that'll fit. It's not going to be a premium example of the breed, quite honestly, but it never was going to be, was it? There we go. But yeah, that is never going to be a superior example of the breed. But this thing will work-ish. Exhaust, simple exhaust. I always feel kind of on edge though when I start to try to build things, and I know that I'm doing a bad job. Honestly, that's why I try to. That's another reason I try to shy away from like building stuff on stream or on camera or something like that. If I'm trying to just do something off my own bat, then it's like I always feel like I'm just rushing and messing it up, and it's like, ugh. Like I just compare myself to everyone else. I think that's what I do. I need to shift one side. No, I don't. No, that much at least I'm sure of. Wait, no, hang on. Yeah, you're right. Okay, I see what you mean now. See what I mean? It's like, yeah. Just as I start to say, I know what I'm on about, I make a massive fundamental mistake, and it's like, yay! Honestly. Right. There we go. That's now hooked up, I'm pretty sure. It just needs fuel. So resources, fuel storage, let's put that in there. Still really heavy though, we do need that extra weight to go in. So, weight 40. Let's add in some lead. Let's get the lead foot out. Why use metal when you can use lead? There we go. Oh, there we go. We're underwater. Kind of. It's not really sinking too well. It's coming back up again, actually, which is kind of bad, but it's doing something. I think it actually needs those hydrofoils in the front that I took out to be more aggressive in its attack angle. Actually, why is it trying to operate on the surface now? Downwards, please. Yep, the best submarine ever. It refuses to sink. Why are you not? It's because this thing is not doing things again. Why did this work before, though? It worked on my other submarine, but it's not working on this thing. I don't really get it. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I'll try Razul's suggestion then and switch it to a altitude hydrofoil test stimulus minus 50. 50. There we go. And it's doing bugger all. Yep. The belly prop is pushing it upwards. That was put in just to make sure that it was doing something, but the hydrofoils were not turning where I wanted them to. And now the pitch control hydrofoils are... well, the ones at the back are just cancelling things out, so... yeah, as you can see, it's not working properly at all. It's just so light for its size. It's just so too buoyant. I think that's his biggest problem, really. It's just too buoyant. So yeah, let's install some more lead, and then if we can't fit enough lead into the floor, we'll add some metal to the sides. So, besides, metal to the sides is a good idea anyway. Make the altitude pitch stronger. Oh yeah, that's doing it. Alright. That's helping. Wait, no, hang on. It's barely diving, it is getting slower. That's not helping. Not overly, anyway. I don't know, this is such a terrible submarine. I actually took out the rear ones completely, so it's lost those as a pitch control option. So... I don't know, This just feels kind of bad. I mean, hang on. Let's give you the other example, the one that you saw last week, which has not been progressed since then, actually. But this one. Then again, this craft is a lot heavier though, so there is that, I suppose. It's working and it's cheap. What's not to like? Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's got one of my own little design quirks, which I don't see people do often, which is like it's turning and running around purely based on this rear propulsion system. So it doesn't actually have any propulsion anywhere else, so yeah. But still, this submarine just performs so much better. This one I've got here. So it's like, you know, I'm not sure why it was getting confused because this one also runs with an ATB setting its forward propulsion, sorry, its forward hydrofoils. So it uses the system I was trying to use on this thing, but it's just like, you know, don't know why it doesn't work on this one. So one day this troglodyte will grow up to be the larger one. So, you know, maybe. If it eats all its vegetables. Let's see, this one is 1,000 resources. And the big one is 13,500 resources, so it's 13 times more expensive. Though that said, a fair chunk of that is just the wooden hull and the weapon systems. Is it the game that's lagging? No, I'm getting no lag at this side, so it must be connection. Well, I suppose this thing works anyway, so it can try to get a... I guess the key piece of advice, isn't it? Just get out of the first zone as soon as possible. Which I think really sucks in terms of being advice, but, you know. Still, this little guy can go a very happy 5.9 meters per second. Which is not too bad. For a really basic submarine. So yeah, I guess this is going to be used to try and get out of the start area, so I'll save that. Save the vehicle. This is tiny, cheap submarine. There we go, so this is the tiny, cheap submarine, though its performance is nowhere near as much as the other craft. It's unfair as comparing it to the other craft though, isn't it? I mean, after all, if I hop into this one, then it's like... And then I hit forward. It just goes... Whee! And it takes off at 26 meters per second. Like that, so, you know. So this submarine is just able to perform so much better. Hi Erno, welcome to the stream, though I'm afraid timing's not very good. I'm going to be shutting down very shortly. I like that submarine so much better. Oh dear. Tiny cheapo submarine. In terms of missile defences though, what can we do to this thing really? Not a lot. We could add some... Yeah, we could add some sideborne defences actually, I suppose. We just tear the sides out. Then it's missile connections. Yeah, sorry about that though. I mean, you just pop in and say hi, and it's like, oh, we're stopping soon. So it's like, not the ideal greeting, is it? You mean the aggressive version of defense? Alright. Blow him up before he blows you up. Yeah, I suppose so, but I can add some multiple missile tubes onto the sides of this. They're not very powerful ones, got to admit to that, but hey, you know. That's to be expected, isn't it? Just as long as these guys... There we go. So really, really basic thing. No, I've not got the things. Right. So this will be a single fin, single prop, single fuel tank, single ballast tank. And then it will be a explosive warhead and a laser beam rider. Actually no, this is just basic one, so it's like torpedoes. So really, really basic torpedo. And this side interferes with the engine. Of course it does. And it interferes greatly with the engine, so this side's just going to be a three slot one. Okay, sure. Just put it like that. Does 7 missile tubes count? Use 2 8 to 10 torpedoes facing backwards rather than the swarm of small torpedoes. Maybe. Don't underestimate the swarm of torpedoes though. Swarm of torpedoes can be quite dangerous. I mean, these 3-block torpedoes, the other submarine basically has these. I mean, if you look, it's got these massive banks on the sides here of 3-block torpedoes. And they're actually kind of dangerous. I mean, 6 missile tubes. Yeah, I noticed. Right. Okay. So we've got the thing moving. It's got some very basic short-range missile capability. It needs an AI to guide that. So get rid of that and that. I put the controls here so the AI can sit here on the roof. Okay, see you later then, owner. And then we want a detector, we want a wireless snooper, I suppose. And then that thing wants a card slot, like this, with a target prioritization card and aim point select. Actually, that doesn't matter. Just target prioritization card's all it needs. It's a very stupid submarine, let's put it that way. It's a very, very, very stupid submarine. I want a local weapon. Oh, yeah, a local weapon controller. You can tell I'm kind of at the end of my rope, can't you? It's like, hey, I expect the AI to work this way. And it's like, no, that's not how it works. No. I guess something we do need to do though is set up firing restrictions though, because these things require some serious firing restrictions. Well, not really, it's just like azimuth needs to be tuned. Because they're not going to be good for much, not really. I mean, the bigger craft has got much better torpedoes than this. Hi Sheldon, welcome to the stream. I guess between 150 and 50, that'll do. And then we'll set the opposite one to be able to fire out the opposite sides. Between 50 and 150. So there we go, that'll really restrict the firing angles on it. And yeah, they need a local weapon controller restriction as well to stop them from attacking. The thing is, Raz, that these little guys are such bad torpedoes that they, well, they're not bad, they're okay. But they don't have turning capability, they don't have fuel. If they're kicked out of one side, then they are not going to be able to turn around and attack to the other side. they're probably not going to even live that long. So that's why firing restriction makes these things less inefficient, shall we say. And minimum altitude of 5. There we go. So yeah, it prevents you from wasting ammunition that you don't have to spare, really. That's why I wanted an angle restriction on those things. No more storage, so at least we've got some reloads for the torpedoes. Accuracy 15 degrees. Actually, yeah, that would do it, wouldn't it? Because it calculates per tube, doesn't it? Yep, that works a lot better, actually. Yep, I'll give you that one. Yeah. Okay, yep. I feel like a dumbass. We also need the Heartstone before I forget as well. This is meant to be for survival after all. So a Heartstone of some kind is required. The AI has only got access to a wireless detector. So it's not really got anything to detect stuff. Let's add a propeller on the front, actually. There we go. That'll give it a much needed speed boost. So it can pull itself along like a plane as well. We'll try to. Yeah, look at that. It now does like 7 to 7.5 roughly. If it was actually sinking, which it's not. Once again, this craft is proving difficult. Really doesn't want to sink, does it? Okay, yeah, I think I'm done. Okay, we've definitely got a decent starting craft, I suppose. It should get us at least somewhere. Where it'll get us, I don't exactly know. You got this tomorrow, so can you tell me when will I post this on YouTube? I'll post this up either later today or tomorrow, Shaolin, actually. So this will turn up then. Kill a marauder. Question is how close will the marauder be? Also, this thing is going to struggle to kill a marauder because it's not really geared up for it. Oh, well, on the bright side, it just immediately lobs torpedoes out the side at it. And inflicted 9,000 points of damage. The other submarine launched a volley of the same kind of, well, a very similar torpedo, but because I turned the AI off, it lost its laser guidance. So there is that. Yeah. Did I turn you off? Tiny sheet submarine on. So yeah, there we go. It just kicks out 3 torpedoes, and that's all it does. It's not gonna really kill much, to be quite honest. Another 7,000 points of damage. So it can do a little bit of light bashing, I suppose you could say. But it's not really going to kill things, not with these little pea shooters on it. Yeah, that doesn't really do much, does it? Not really. Unlike the one which is cruising around out here, if I turn that one on. Because this one's a little bit better armed, let's be fair. Just a little bit. Considering it's got laser guided torpedoes and it's got underwater hollow point rounds as well, just as an added bonus. It seems to be missing though because it's not got very good detection for its laser guided missiles. It's really meant to work well with other vehicles. So yeah, it's struggling a bit. It's got a lot more firepower though. But anyway, yeah. Enough of that. Let's actually go ahead and save this little thing. Turn you off, please. Save the Tiny Sheet Submarine, version 2. And this has been the quote-unquote first part of Beneath the Waves. We've been beneath the waves. We didn't get very far though. So this has been Mark 3. Thank you all very much for watching. And hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll catch you all some other time. See you all later.